Okay, so Demon Slayer just recently came to the theaters, and it really got me wondering. Anime is becoming way too mainstream now. And to be honest, it's not just this recent development of Demon Slayer coming to the theaters that made me wonder this. It's actually something I've been thinking for quite a while right now. 2D animation isn't something that's been in the theaters for God knows how long. Since Disney stopped it back in the late 2000s and the early 2010s, every other company just followed suit in delivering only 3D animated projects to the big screen. Now, anime is coming along with AOT, Demon Slayer, JJK, and even Blue Lock all releasing their movies in the theaters over the years. It really makes you start to wonder, is 2D animation going to make a comeback to the theaters? And if this does happen, other companies will follow suit, because when they see how well these other movies perform, they would want to follow suit. And it's not as if it's not already happening. I mean, we can see how so many shows just get an anime adaptation, like Terminator, Devil May Cry, Suicide Squad, Rick and Morty, an animated show, got an anime adaptation. And this is just to name a few. There are still so many other projects that are rumored to get an anime adaptation, like John Wick or The Legend of Zelda, a very popular gaming franchise. These are all examples of shows made by billion-dollar corporations who want to hop on this anime trend. So it's only a matter of time before movies start to adopt this too. And it's not as if it's not something they've not started doing, because let's look at K-pop Demon Hunters. Even though it was a 3D movie, it still adopted a lot of anime-themed animations and certain expressions they were putting out. So this whole thing about Demon Slayer taking the world by storm right now because of this new movie, because it has been getting smashing reviews. People are hyping the movie. People are just glazing this shit. And if Hollywood sees this, they might decide to hop on this trend too. And the problem I'm going to have is that original movies or original projects, original characters will be having an anime style. Like, imagine the Justice League is anime themed. Some people might enjoy that, but I won't enjoy that, because it kind of throws off the uniqueness and originality that the DC has had for quite a while. Now, let's leave Demon Slayer and the theaters aside. Let's look at the anime men. These idiots who are basically, quote and unquote, the biggest voices of anime, apparently because they have close to 5 million subscribers, they made a ranking of every popular anime from the 1960s to the 2020s. And I'm sure if you're very active on YouTube, you should have already seen the videos. I don't need to bother stepping in too much of that. Creators both bigger and smaller than me have made vids bashing them. But you see, people like this are making a living off pretending to be anime fans, yet all the hype are the conventional shonen anime. In fact, the title of this video is Anime is Losing Its Value, but I'm not really just referring to anime as a whole. I'm referring to shonen anime, because shonen anime is basically the forerunner of anime. It's the face of anime. You can't deny that. Maybe you that's watching this video right now, your first ever anime was probably shonen anime. And if you don't know what a shonen anime is, it's basically an anime that has an MC or a set of main characters who all want to achieve a goal and has power systems and rankings. To make it simpler for you, Dragon Ball is a shonen anime, Naruto is a shonen anime, Bleach, Black Clover, all of those animes are shonen animes. But then when you look at animes like Classroom of the Elites, Dan Da Dan, Blue Box, and Blue Lock, these animes that I just mentioned are not shonen animes. They fall into different categories, but every other anime that has a specific power system and deals with MC or a set of MCs who want to achieve a particular goal, that is your conventional shonen anime. And that's the kind of anime that these idiots hype up. And it's honestly just sad that we have such retarded people as the face of anime in the Western culture, because they really don't respect or regard any other thing apart from your conventional shonen anime. It was getting so bad that Japanese people actually sent them money so that they would look at their comments, read it, just for them to get violated. It was honestly such a funny thing. Up till now, I still go to the comment section just to read what people are saying, and it has not been pretty. In fact, I don't even know who is liking this video, because right now the dislike ratio is about 20k to 1.something k. But who are the people that are actually liking it? It's probably their dick riders who agree with their list, who probably just don't respect foundational anime and don't realize that without this anime, we wouldn't have gotten the animes that we have today. That's besides the point. The anime men is just another reason why I feel anime has become too mainstream, and it's just not something that I feel special anymore. Let's also look at the fact that anime has become generic and cliche, specifically animes that have been made from 2023 upward. Maybe it's just me, but they just seem to have a similar story and they just don't feel that different from each other, aside from the fact that maybe some have a specific type of animation or a different set of characters. In fact, most animes now just follow the same animation. It's very hard to find a breakout anime that doesn't have the same flow of animation, except your maybe One Piece and Solo Leveling, which I will admit that those animes have very good, unique animations. They all do still feel the same and look alike. I mean, I can remember when every single anime had its own type of feel. Like, animes didn't just look alike. They had a different story to tell, and they had different animations to tell those stories. But every anime now just seems to follow the same drawing pattern, the same animation, the same impact frames, and everybody calls it peak. And it's not just for the shonen animes. This also applies to the sport animes, the slice of life, and the rom-com animes. I'm not saying there isn't variety. There's variety, but it's actually hard to find this variety. The ones that actually have variety aren't as hyped or as glazed as the ones that are popular. The ones that are popular are all generic and cliche. In fact, if I was to go online right now and ask for a list of animes, 80% of people who would drop that list would give me shonen animes. Only few would give me some popular rom-com and slice of life animes. I think I would barely find anybody who would give me a more unique list of animes, because people who actually dig deep to find unique animes tend to gatekeep. And it's because of people like the anime men, like Neon Genesis Evangelion or Evangelion. I don't really care how it's pronounced, and I'm not trying to disrespect it. I just don't know how to pronounce it. I'm a Nigerian guy, I'm not white. So it's an anime that some people in the comments were saying that they should have kept this anime, because the fact that they are disrespecting it and placing Solo Leveling above such a well-written anime is honestly just sad. And I've tried watching the anime, and from the first 10 episodes I watched, it was actually good. The fact that they are placing Solo Leveling above it just proves my point on how retarded and stupid they are to be placing animes with such a well-written story below an anime that just has cool fight scenes. But that's besides the point. It's very hard to just find an anime that doesn't feel the same, especially those that have been popular and overrated. Like, let's take a look at Dan Da Dan. Dan Da Dan is a good anime on its own right, but you can't say that this isn't an anime that you've seen somewhere else. The story, the plot line, sure, it has breakout animation. You can also say it has a nice set of characters with wonderful chemistry, but at the same time, I've seen this anime somewhere else before. Whether it's an older anime or a newer anime, I've seen it somewhere else. So the hype that it gets is still not something I understand. As people say that it's the best manga they've ever read, or it's one of the best mangas they've ever read. Personally, I don't read manga, so I can't even go into that side. But you understand what I'm trying to say when I say so much animes are just too generic and cliche, and it's starting to lose its uniqueness and variety. And even the ones that are distinct are hard to find, because people who have found them would gatekeep because of people like the anime men who don't enjoy a good story and just prefer action. People with short attention spans that play Solo Leveling will bash animes that actually have a distinct and wonderful story, maybe because they didn't understand it. And I'm not trying to bash you for being a person that doesn't like a good plot, because I'm not going to stand here and say that I'm a person who is always looking for an anime with the deepest plot, or I don't know, AOT level plot or Berserk level plot, because I too just want to watch something simple most of the time. But there are times where I want to watch an anime that will give me a better perspective on life, or a better perspective on certain parts of life. Now, if I were to look at the state of anime, I'd say it's doing a lot better than it was before it was so popular. Anime has gotten so much more recognition. Artists are being paid more. In fact, artists have even started getting more protection compared to how overworked they were before. You can see that because of how popular anime has gotten, the artists are going to be less overworked, because now people are putting a lot more eyes on them. But at the same time, people are still demanding more from them. And when I mean people, I'm talking about corporations. Even though that there's quote and unquote small laws placed now so that artists will not overwork themselves, corporations that are greedy, the private corporations, when I say private corporations, think about Activision. I'm not saying Activision is an anime-based studio, but I'm just using it as an example of corporations that are still overworking these artists. But at least it's not as bad as it used to be. Because imagine having to animate something as beautiful as JJK every single week. But at least there is going to be more mental awareness now because of how popular anime has become. So I will say the state of anime now is a lot better than it was in recent years back. Although I really do feel in a few years anime is going to lose its value, specifically the shonen animes, because they are the forerunners of anime, and when they lose their value, you can say that anime as a whole will lose its value, because most people who get into anime watch shonen animes, and most people who claim to be anime fans only watch shonen animes. We've already gotten MCU fatigue, we've already gotten Disney and Pixar and DreamWorks fatigue. Perhaps once there is shonen fatigue, other anime genres will build themselves up. They will become a lot more popular and mainstream. Maybe it could be your sports animes, or maybe even your romance animes. But you just need to keep in mind that shonen animes are going to get old. Nothing stays on top forever. So it's only a matter of time before things start to become less and less and less and less interesting for the audience, because people are going to catch on very soon that these shonen animes all just look alike. But anime as a whole isn't something I see falling off, because there's just so much genres to explore, because compared to the MCU and so many other universes, it's a diverse and unique universe that just has so many genres for you to explore. So even if you're tired of shonen anime like I was, I've been tired of shonen anime for quite a while, but I discovered rom-coms, slice of life animes, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Even your comedy animes. Like I said, my favorite animes are Parasite the Maxim, Saikiki, Dragon Ball, and Kimi ni Todoke. Wait, did I talk about my favorite animes before? You know what, I actually don't care. You know now that these are my favorite animes. So you can see I am a fairly new gen anime watcher, but you can't deny my list is pretty good. And I still do want to find out more animes. In fact, the reason why I hate shonen animes is because they all just feel like Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball has been my favorite anime for a while, and every other shonen anime just feels like another version of Dragon Ball. I'm not trying to disrespect them. I'm not trying to say that Dragon Ball is the best shonen anime, but I'm just saying that because of how used I am to Dragon Ball, when I see other animes, it just feels like they are trying to be Dragon Ball. Every shonen anime follows the same formula, it follows the same pattern, and I saw it first on Dragon Ball. So when I see it in other animes, it just feels like I'm watching Dragon Ball, which is why I just have a problem with enjoying other shonen animes. I can watch them and I can like them, but Dragon Ball will still be something that I feel is an objectively better anime because I watched it first. So you can see it's mostly just a bias on my part. Even when you put in all these things into consideration, anime is still one of the best pieces of media that we have right now, especially considering how bad things got. I mean, MCU gone, DC is still trying to pick itself up. Disney and Pixar, DreamWorks, they've all just been putting out rubbish. Anime has been one of the best forms of entertainment that we find anywhere. Well, that and streaming services like Netflix and Amazon Prime. Oh, who am I kidding? Those ones give out shits too, but they still have pretty good projects that you can just binge watch every once in a while. And when I mean every once in a while, I mean once in every 5 or 10 years. Come on guys, bring Stranger Things season 5. What's taking you so long? But that's all I have for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. And do leave a comment. I want to engage a lot with you guys in the comments on this one.